Beautiful, beautiful. Welcome, dear souls, dear friends all around the world. I hope you're truly doing as well as possible in these times of super rapid change, or changes, I would rather say. So, as I'm already announced that today, I felt already in the morning called to share today some certain updates and as well to assist a little bit in the better understanding what is actually really going on with the solar flares, but particular with our physical body. And therefore as well, I am very much guided to as well offer a beautiful healing transmission for all those who don't know me yet or don't understand what this means. Is that I'm since very early age, so in the beginning of basically since I can remember childhood, I am an open channeler, means that I can perceive different frequencies, colors, hear different messages from those different dimensions or reality states, however you wish to call that, or from your understanding. But as well, I'm a quantum healer, which then means that I can bring in different light codes, which I usually do with my light language. And this is actually something each of your soul, of your heart understands. So it's rather bringing through kind of a language which is frequency, but not really based with a understanding or translation through our mind, okay? So this will be then at the end of this beautiful consciousness stream. But firstly, let's start to bring in some updates regarding all of these incredible, powerful solar geomagnetic storms. I mean, it's like incredible, super, super strong. And I know I spoke with a few different people, clients, and all of them are, of course, speaking about different body sensations or aches or not able to sleep. And this is as well something which I've been mostly guided, actually, why today to do this live, to a little bit explain, because still our mind feels a bit more secure if it's understand what actually this process is. Why do we have all those storms? How does it affect our physical body? And how actually to go with this process, okay? So, like mentioned, we have all of these storms coming in, but not to forget as well the influence of the 𝓖𝓪𝓫 Atlas, which was as well pretty intense from its energetic frequency, which means it just brought in not a simple comet passing our outer orbit, but as well it was creating a ripple effect with actually bringing in codes, information, cosmic information, which was triggering or is still triggering our DNA to actually bring the body, and not just the body, all of our bodies, so this means physical, emotional, spiritual, to its next, basically, or trigger it to its next expansion, right? So if you had suddenly stronger dreams or even some new perspective, or spoke with people which you thought, oh my God, they will maybe never wake up, or are really like blocked towards consciousness, and suddenly having some conversations with them, that's basically it, because it was triggering the next stage of evolution on our planet, okay? So it doesn't matter how, you know, this outer perspective is it a comet, is it a ship, is it this? It's all about the frequency which it brought in to help us to trigger our next consciousness state, all right? So, but again, back to the solar activities. So this is all very much now at the end of our year 2025 very much like accelerating, right? It's all kind of happening at the same time or in a few weeks differences, right? And that's also because we are now closing, or we are all as a collective field closing on our planet a very, very old karmic cycle. Okay, now again, we can go into numbers or not. We can say thousands of years, 100,000. Again, it doesn't matter. What truly matters is that we can feel that this time at the end of the year is somehow just everything going even faster and even deeper. And that's because we are now as well under, already I can say that, under the law of one. So this means through this new consciousness of oneness, of higher basically consciousness and all this contact happening, and as well from the central sun and other suns, they're more linked into that. So some say 7 more, however, everything is now really building up towards the end of this year to assist us to fast basically close this massive karmic cycle. And the cycle can have different forms again. It can be many generations in your family, you know, different kind of programs, also yours, also your previous lifetimes. I mean, there's so much in it, multi-layered, because we never only just clean up one topic from A to Z, but it's really multi-layered. So this means past, present, future, for those who maybe understand that time isn't really linear, but it's really going in a spiral, okay? And that's as well how we are in energy, frequency actually rising in a spiral. And that's as well through our DNA, the same DNA ladder, right, with our strands. It's all going basically in a spiral. But okay, how does this all now affect our physical body, and how can we basically assist ourselves in it? One main message before I go into details is, or was, this previous night and this morning to come online and really share, is that in this process, when light is coming, yes, so through the solar activities, through higher energetics anchoring into Gaia, into our planet, into our body, it's actually, of course, imagine like electricity running now through certain circuits, yeah, like through certain passageways through our body. And if those are, of course, still in a way, let's call it now blocked, and blocked they are usually when it's just in a way lower information, which can be now, there is still density, lower information density as anger, frustration, fear, like many different of lower vibrational states of being, okay? So this is like separated parts of us, because when we're in unity, we don't feel that anything from outside we need to fear, or anything from outside we need to block away and separate, because then we unite, we're then in one field, right? But it starts, of course, within us, and then, of course, in the outside, it's then manifesting. But again, if this hits now and goes deep through our layers of the body, what does it do? Of course, it will now push out or push through everything which is still in this not unity consciousness. So again, fear, anger, anxiety, all of that beautiful souls is not truly your natural state. Now again, you can say, that's wonderful, but I still feel it. And what does it do right now with all of us is that it's pushing out what maybe we even forgot, or we might even suppress down, to face it and to transmute it, okay? And again, some of you will say, okay, this is also something I know already. But the point is, now it's going to become even more real, almost like you could say realistic. Before maybe you thought, oh, that's an old story from when I was small and I know now I'm grown up, right? But now it's gonna feel like you're again, for example, this small child, and it's one-on-one, 100% strong and real, like it would just happen, that you've been scared, that you've been in anxiety, that someone did something to you, okay? Why is that? Because I said just some minutes ago, we are closing a very old, big karmic cycle. So this means that we are going truly this time very, very deep to the core of it, to not again continue the same loop next year and next year and next year and next year, okay? So this means it is now all about us, that the message which was coming through is that we are not getting lost in that process of healing. And this is just one part of the message. So what it was constantly telling me in the channel, that we can easily get lost in work. We can easily get lost even in love relationship. We can easily get lost in anxiety, easily get lost in anger, because we then in those moments identify ourselves with all of that, and we don't just lose ourselves in that anxiety, but suddenly we actually lose ourselves. How do I mean that? We forget in that moment that we are not the anxiety. We forget in that moment that we are not lost in any kind of job or love and so on. That's only happening when we forget who we are. I will try to say it again in a very slow motion. So this means everything is now building up, becoming stronger, more real. You will feel what is real, what is illusion. Am I now getting crazy, or is this now really happening to me? I thought I'm already balanced person and so on. So everything will start to feel incredible real. And that's only because we, each of you, each of us, signed up to actually remember that we came here to clear all of this out. So this means I remember that I am not the anxiety, but I'm here. That moment when she rises in me, I'm the one to transmute it. I am not the anger which is rising in me, because I'm the one who can transmute it. So what is now really needed, beautiful souls, truly, because it will help you through the process, because no one can actually escape what will rise within your bodies, okay? Emotional and physical, with all the symptoms. We can't escape that anymore. That's why we have solar flares, 𝓖𝓪𝓫 Atlas, all the volcanoes, all the floods, because everything wants now to break us out from the old structure, which we held as the 3D human, as the 3D reality, as the 3D foundation structure of this planet, okay? And I will go also into some details to make it clearer what this means. And that's why we can't just accept this one sentence. We can't escape whatever is now rising within us, okay? No matter how intense it feels, we can't escape it. That's number one. So as we can't escape it, it's not then that we need to fear it, yeah? Because suddenly we have the symptoms, suddenly I'm in stress, I'm blocked, I'm fearful. But that's the moment, and that's the main message. It will be the main of this whole stream today. We lost ourselves in all the outer distraction, also in my pain, in the other person, in my circumstances, and forgot who we are. So this means when I remember, I'm not the stress, I'm not the circumstances, I'm not the victim, I'm not the anxiety, I'm not that pain which I feel strongly now in my body. That's the moment when you can have the first little step regarding how to help yourself in that process. So it's firstly, we have to tell this our own self, and even if we need to train that every day when something arises, I'm not that stress, I'm not that fear, I'm not that anxiety. I am the one who completely aware came to this body, through this body, into this life, to now face that and transmute that. That's my power. I am able to transmute anything which is now and in the next weeks arising through my body, because that's why I came here. So this means my parents couldn't do it, my ancestors couldn't, the place I'm living here, the country, everything wasn't ready, but I am ready to do that. Okay, all of you who are now listening and watching this, okay? So it sounds simple, but actually it's the key, because really this message was so strong coming in that what is really going on, why is it so strong awakening us and shaking us, the earth, the volcanoes, all of that is because the earth and everything, which is also our body, wants to gift us back our own empowerment, our own powers, our own remembrance. And now it doesn't matter in what you believe, you're as well in it as all of us. Because it's not about any belief system, any religion. It's about now pure, raw energy and how to remember, to actually use it, and to, like a dragon rider, ride it, yeah? To actually be able to face the strong incoming energies. Because if we don't even understand why they're coming, what they're doing with our body, then of course we will fear them. We will be in shock when suddenly the earth is shaking. We will be in shock when our body will have strange sensation. We will be just fearful and lost in it and looking for outer help. And we are now awakening to this understanding how to remember to use again that knowledge of energy, okay? So this means it's truly now about us. If symptoms are coming in our physical body, maybe suddenly the leg is aching, maybe your tummy, okay? This is also something I still want to talk about, the chakra systems, because everything is now under construction. And under construction means that the chakras are also being pretty much under purge, under, this influence of this incoming light, because this is nothing else than light and consciousness, these solar flares, and from the ground, the volcanoes. That's all actually this plasma light, which contains pulsating, living, divine consciousness, okay? And if we, as we are becoming now new, beautiful, golden human, okay? We are stepping as humanity into the next stage of evolution. Then, of course, our body can't go as it was with us further. And what does it mean? Not that we suddenly need to, I don't know, make a super diet and all of that. I'm just talking about we have to learn about our body and how we will deal with these energies which are coming in, okay? And that's why not to fear it, but to learn about it. That's why we need higher consciousness, new consciousness, because it will wake us up from taking the body just as a body, for example, or indeed misuse the body maybe not sleep, don't listen what the body needs, for example, okay, all this self-care, because body has as well a beautiful high intelligence, and it's here with us. It's actually our travel vehicle through this experience, yeah, this human embodiment experience. And that's why, again, also the chakras, now I'm coming to that, especially solar plexus, first as well, the root, but solar plexus and heart chakra are very much at the moment under purge, okay? But I would almost give on the first place solar plexus. And of course, these are solar frequencies which are coming in. But again, like I mentioned, they're working to break down the construct in our, which was the solar plexus holding. And it was, of course, as all of you know, it was an ego construct, an ego system, okay? And this ego system, of course, it was like, I have an identity, I need to take care of myself, I need to say stop, I need, you know, all of this, how we acted. And this was our kind of power, all right? Through higher consciousness coming in now, okay? This is not anymore, let's say, up to updated chakra, because it's just not in tune as we are moving into a higher consciousness, into a oneness consciousness, okay? So this means some of you know it as the new earth, fifth dimension, but actually it's going to be beyond that already. But it doesn't matter. It's truly about the understanding. Why do we need now to purge this plexus? Or why do we even feel, maybe many of you, nausea, or really this sickness, or maybe even a reflux and all of these symptoms, or just like this being in this nervous system that you feel like really tight? Because, again, the plexus was holding this big network of control. And as we know, everything is then controlled, is having tights, yeah, it's having limitations, like holding the body together, or saying no or saying yes. It's very mechanical, okay? And this was like our power, how we were basically, how our body was responding to it. But if we talk now about oneness, there is no control. I'm not speaking about that we're going to lose our identity, but we're going to remember that our identity doesn't need anymore these kind of tools to protect ourselves, because we're going to be attacked, or even attack ourselves, others, right? That we attack others, or getting into fights and all. This is all this really very strong power from the plexus, okay? And this is why all these flares are coming in. All, maybe you, like I said, you're even getting nausea, or you have to purge by, puking and all of that, because it wants to melt down that structure, okay? That's why equally we have all these volcanoes worldwide now really strongly, you know, shaking the ground, erupting, because it is equally to the real power of Gaia, of this planet awakening, okay? So this means no more controlling the earth with an artificial foundation of a artificial 3D reality, okay? So this means that this organic can come back online. The organic means that we can live then again in that balanced way with the elements, with the earth, and then start more as a conscious, beautiful, golden human being to live this new earth, okay? And again, this is all a process, but I was really called to explain a little bit what all is happening. And the guardians of this earthly, basically, this network, yeah, this original network, are actually if some of you heard, or many times heard now, when people talk about dragons, we talk about the frequency which is holding, which are the guardians of this network, of this foundation of Gaia. And that's why we also call actually the dragon frequency, like the meridians of the earth, okay? So that's also why when we awake those lines, that ley lines, that dragon lines, it's equally awakening new passageways in our physical body. And this is almost like you could say it's a new access to more life force, which maybe before was like stuck. Maybe you felt lately in the physical body very much, like sluggish, like you don't feel really a lot of energy. Everything is pulling you down because, of course, the process is very strong now by clearing all of our energetic lines, these dragon lines within our own body, our meridians. And this will not just bring in so much more light, so much more consciousness, but as well life force. And that's as well when some are talking about reversing age, which will come with some time, because we will just flood our body with so much more light. And this is actually what will still, this will be still a beautiful form. So it will not be suddenly we are light, we have no body. I'm not talking about that, but really it will be so much more vital, so much more basically healthy, yeah, because it will be again aligned to the original network of Gaia, which we call the organic matrix, okay, which is like really her rhythms, is our rhythms of our body, and not controlled by artificial rhythms, by even stuck rhythms of the earth, because I was also working with the dragons, and they showed me that certain points on the planet in the network were basically, just blocked, but consciously blocked, okay? And this, of course, then disturbs the whole flow on the planet. And even one more thing which been shown to me, but this was shown to me probably about 4 or 5 years ago, is that when I channeled Gaia, yeah, Mother Earth, she showed me her map of her own, let's call it now body, so of her own planetary body. And she showed me how parts of it, we could say, if this is now kind of, spine, was like really at some points or parts she said, that was her words, in a wrong position. And that's, of course, when you are your whole life, I would say now, reflected back onto our body. If our spine, of course, you know what kind of problems this can make many, also to the organs, to how you feel you're not flexible and all of that, right? So it's like really, really interesting stuff, which will come online again, online to learn, to remember, and as well then, of course, at some point to experience, okay, to embody. But again, back to our physical body. So how to help yourself when now all these different symptoms are coming in, okay? Maybe you have vertigo, right? That you're just dizzy and you don't know anymore where's up, where's down, or you wake up with headache, or all these different of symptoms that you just can't sleep, all right? It's really the understanding that your body hears you, okay? So not to treat the body like something is wrong with my body, let's go just fast to the doctor. Of course, I would never say, like, if you need it in a way to check up, please go. But just to know that we have to learn again to trust the intelligence of our body. And to trust it is actually when something's happening, to go into that feeling, okay, and start to communicate. Like basically, like it would be your best friend. And you just say, okay, can you show me? and show me doesn't mean like with a picture. I mean, if you meditate a lot and maybe you have the vision, but otherwise with feeling to show you, that the body would show you, okay, why do I have suddenly, I don't know, pain in my chest, okay? And go into that and just feel, listen, like your intuition is an impulse, like, okay, something warm, something fuzzy, maybe a word is coming up, but train yourself that the body tries to tell you something, okay? And often we think it tries to tell us just something is wrong. But with these upgrades, beautiful souls, okay, with these upgrades, with so much geomagnetic, solar storms and everything, we have to learn that it will be almost becoming a normal, that all these symptoms will constantly now pop up till we really get into our new energetic light body, or that next stage, how human's body basically will feel like from the vibration I'm talking about, that we get into the frequency which we have to get to the next stage, okay? So in that meantime, all different symptoms will constantly rise, because it's a process, almost like you have a piece of clay and it will be, you know, really from all sides being, you know, pulled and pushed and all together till it gets into this new form, okay? So of course it will feel a bit not so comfortable, right? So again, this is like the first thing, that you start to understand the body is awake, it has consciousness, it hears you, it feels you, it understands you, okay? So even if you say, for example, constantly, I'm too thin, I have too many kilos here and there, my weight shouldn't be like that. The body's listening, and you are programming it the moment you're telling yourself constantly all of these things. So start to be aware a bit about that, okay? Because it is awake, it has awareness, it has consciousness. So that's the first thing. Secondly is, when something arises, not to go into, first you will, but it's going to become better, into resistance. More we resist because we fear that something is wrong with our body. That's the fear. I need to protect. I get into contraction, yeah, because I'm in fear now. Something is wrong. I'm in panic, okay? That you try, as good as it goes, to just gentle breathe into those places where you feel, oh my God, I'm now really stuck into this panic and contraction, yeah? Because more we are helping our body to let go, okay, to become soft. You can breathe, you can listen to some high vibrational music, just like something where you know you can help yourself to relax, okay? All of this actually will help, that you are assisting your own body when this light, yes, when this electricity with higher new information activating your body, traveling through your body, that you are not basically closing your body, that it's having even harder time to get through because it will even more ache, okay? But try, okay, I'm more and more getting used that actually light, electricity to switch me on is starting to travel through my body. Okay, then when you have somewhere bigger pain, like certain places, be aware that there is something which really wants to be released. Now again, if you're already ready for a bit deeper work, which I always recommend, because not only you learn about your body, but you actually help to release old information, and it can be done faster and lighter in this process. You then basically start to journal, okay? So this means write down, today it's my left leg, maybe next day it's the right leg or something. And when you have those informations regarding your body, left leg, right leg, you will understand almost like a map. Aha. So today it was maybe working more with my feminine side, now with my masculine. When you identified that, yeah, let's say it's the right knee, I have their fear, okay? The knee is also all about fear going forward. If I identify that, then I can use terms. So this means whole sentences like, okay, I recognize that when I look into my masculine and going forward, that I think I have fear. Then maybe if I look at my parents, my father, he also wasn't that easy to decide fast, to go for things. And probably then my ancestors. So you have now suddenly the whole information line which you need, that you can really easy, trust me on this, easy now start to work and help your body faster release that. Because when we get things into our consciousness, before it was maybe unaware, unconscious, in my knee, the pain, then of course the light which is coming in will create pressure and it will bring pain. But then it will help us to look into that we find the topic, and then when we consciously understand, this was actually the topic, I now release it and breathe and release and breathe and release. And you can add anything. You can add from all my past, present, future, from all my ancestor lineages, from all my previous past lives embodiment, okay? So these are little practical advices I'm giving you here, okay? So you can really then start to identify for your own self, why is it there, the pain? Why is it here, the pain, okay? Because everything holds certain information, but the body is also this map. So you can then also learn about what means when the knee is hurting, what means you can research, is a lot out there. So this, and then of course, again, if you have suddenly panic attacks when too much light is coming in, it's always coming to the same. It's a training. It's a training that we will now start to learn to trust and to surrender. Okay? To trust and to surrender. Because what did we have before? We didn't trust and we controlled. We didn't trust, we controlled. With mind, with actions, with rather being in a comfort zone. And now it's really bringing in the consciousness that if I'm fearing light, I can't hide anymore in any kind of shadows from that light. So the light is inviting me to become familiar with that light, to become familiar that this will become our new state of being. We will see more light, we will feel more lightful, everything will start to be more shiny, more vibrational, okay? So, because it's in this moment still a bit unusual, when this plasma light, when the solar storms coming in, when everything is shaking, the volcanoes, the heat and all, it's very unusual for our state, okay? And because of that is then panic, anxiety, because our mind is not understanding, because it didn't had before that state, because the mind is always our first signal, like, oh, something is wrong with me, okay? Not with me, but like with my physical body. So it's almost our protection field, okay? But protection field for this reality. Everything beyond this third dimension, going upwards, basically from the spiral, is then less filter. And less filter means less walls, less veils, and more light, more frequency, more vibration. And that's why it's really that training, that I don't need to fear that my body has some issues, but that I can release that fear, that I don't need to fear light. Now, many are talking about Kundalini awakening, okay? So we know these are two essential energies, the feminine and masculine, we could say now, like like a serpent moving, right? That's why they usually say they are like snakes, because they also move like that. And they, of course, are also carrying vibration, carrying the sacred fire, carrying sacred, we could say now, water, or this lunar or solar aspect. But what it truly also is, at the end of the day, it's actually as well light, which we are constantly as information allowing to travel through our bodies, okay? Now, when you have this kind of awakening with the Kundalini, again, I had a few, trust me on that too. Of course, it can be a bit different, but it's not that pleasant on the begin, okay? It's the same story. Like, oh my God, what's going on with my body? Am I don't know, gonna die? Or what is this intensity? I can't breathe. What is this movement? And the Kundalini is actually the first step as well to show us then that we don't have any control. We made it that here in the 3D, we are controlling the outcomes, we're controlling to close ourselves or to open ourselves, like all of these control mechanisms. It's not anymore open and flowing. And when this Kundalini comes, basically you almost get, how to say, all of your system with the muscles are letting go, okay? But it's not your mind who says, I'm now letting go. It just happens because it's so high vibrational. And you firstly think, oh my God, I can't move, or that's all too strong, because it's learning us how to trust the organic rhythm, how to trust, to allow the light consciousness, our higher self, source, to actually guide us through this process. So it's all very much, we think it's physical, okay, because we have the sensations, but it's really a training of allowance, a training of becoming softer again, and not so tight and restrict and controlled and all of that, because that's we could say against the nature, right? And that's why so many systems which are built here on this planet are, of course, controlled in the nature and so on, like, companies, building and all. They're really disrupting that rhythm, because it's actually not that we are controlled. We are really high vibrational energy in constant movement, all right? That's also what our heart is always reminding us. When it stops, then of course it's kind of done. But just to say, like, we're still then beyond that, vibrating and moving on, all right? So what else to cover before I'm gonna then go into the healing as well? So I really wanted to bring on that the main message here is that even if it feels that you've been almost sucked and into that anxiety, or into that pain of your body, into panic, into anger, into frustration, understand that all of this is just trying to wake you up, that you are then not in danger, but you are the one who can transmute it, and it's not returning anymore. Yes, you heard me right. You can transmute it to the core, and it's not returning anymore, because these are almost like old information which we still mainly subconsciously just held in our physical body, which still then reflected in the outer world, that world in which we are living now. So this means distortion, anger, there's not much harmony, maybe, which we see. That's all the reflection, what we hold inside of us. That's why all that light, this beautiful electricity, wants to clear that pathways, that clear us, that we can break out again. Also another information, because again, dragon frequency very strong as the guardians coming back online from the meridians of Gaia, of this planet. So they as well represent pretty much that those from the ground. Of course, we have as well in the air and the water and so on, but the sacred fire, okay, the sacred fire. And why I'm saying sacred? Because when we are now in this plexus process, okay, I'm jumping back to our chakras. So the plexus will actually, the solar plexus will actually go now under this deep process of reconstructing from this control mechanisms, yeah, so maybe you're gonna really purge it out or feel like pain and things like that, but that we will reconstruct it and truly from the inner sun, yeah, this sacred fire, truly empower ourselves again. And that's what the world needs right now. So how many of you know this feeling? Something is happening. I'm still at my old job, old house, same circumstances, but I can feel something is brewing in me. And that's it, because you will have to, basically like the volcano, erupt. And what will it erupt? Everything which is actually not really yours. You identified yourself with lack of self-worth, lack of decision, procrastination, being in anger, deep anger, suppressed anger, being maybe angry since you're on this planet, seeing what's going on, being angry on your parents because they maybe didn't hear you, feel you, and all of that. And we will, maybe in waves, maybe full on, erupt, okay? And that's the purge, because the sacred fire is helping us to basically dissolve this strong hold we have on our own self, this control mechanism of the solar plexus, and of course then to this world, to those systems on this planet. So this means it's all perfectly, truly perfectly reflected in nature, because there the sacred fire is erupting, okay? Because we are now starting to remember back that we are not these victims of some artificial world or something like that, but we are truly awakening back to all of that wisdom we carry in our DNA, which means our physical body. And as you know, the light which is coming in, again, solar storms, all these energetic happening, 3i Atlas and so on, everything is helping us that the light, more light is coming to shed onto those shadow parts, onto these deep hidden parts of ourselves, to actually recognize what is all there, recognize the truth, and that there is no more need to suppress, and it will not be even possible anymore to suppress, because like I said, sacred fire is our beautiful next stage that we will start to get moving. Okay, we have to actually firstly dissolve the old foundations of our own self to see them outside. Okay, so don't even bother to concentrate what all is happening outside in the world. Oh my God, and here's a trauma, and here is some war, and here's this. Of course, but it's really each of us is now more important than anything what we see as a distraction outside, okay? Because it's only still showing us or reflecting back what we still hold within our bodies. And that's why it's sacred time to work on our bodies, purify, purge, not fear, not run from the shadows. And now even we're in this beautiful sacred time of course, Scorpio, end of the year. All of it is actually inviting us to become almost a little bit this hermit, because if we don't sit with our own selves in silence, no distractions, no internet, news, I don't know what. Of course, we're using it daily, but just to say, to have your moments, then of course, how can you even hear what the body wants to tell you? How can you even process all this information which is coming through those storms, through Gaia, through all parts, actually, from all the sides? Our body is with your awareness, or with your presence, or without your presence. It is changing deeply on a cellular level. It is. But with your presence, with your understanding, with your consciousness, you can help your body. So it's a much more easier, beautiful process, that it doesn't need to hurt so much. It doesn't need to scare you so much. It doesn't need to bring you panic attacks, anxiety, and all of that, because you have to start to engage with your body as your best friend. It's your home. It's your sacred temple. It is our vehicle, not only through this dimension, but through many dimensions, okay? And this is actually what the true learning should be now about. Not what distractions are happening outside, but how can I learn to engage, to understand my physical body more? That's how we are awakening as well with our consciousness. And our physical body is already prepared for the next stage. So just help, instead getting into tight state of yourself through panic, through frustration, through all of that. But when it arises, let's call it now anger. And anger, when many, this I also was seeing now these past few days, many are frustrated and angry. But why? Because they're for so much time suppressed truth. And when you suppress truth, you actually kind of control it, right? Like you control, no, everything is okay. Oh, it's okay. But actually it's not. We swallowed down our truth, our voice, and it's now really gonna erupt. So be really not just gentle, but be excited that we have now the chance, with so much frequency coming in, that we have a push, a beautiful cosmic push, a beautiful divine push, and even earthly from our beautiful great mother, okay? That we don't need to fear anymore that process of awakening, but we can engage and really work. So listen what the body says. I will just repeat maybe again those few little practical steps I was mentioning before, as I see a few more coming in, that we have to learn that our physical body is having a living consciousness. It is aware, it hears us. So when you start to see the body not just as a body, I need to a little bit massage it, put some food in and it's done, but really listen, it will now show you with that light coming in, with this electricity, where does it hurt? Does it hurt on the left knee? Does it hurt in the right arm? Write it down. Then maybe the next day, again, is it in the same place? It is in the different places. Then start to identify, okay, is it my left side? Is it the feminine? Is it the masculine side? Aha, it's my, I don't know, my breast or my chest. Okay, more heart chakra. Okay, thank you, my body. So this means that the body will guide you through the process and show you where actually I have those aches. Now you're going to say, what if I can't sleep? This is something else, because we all can't sleep in these past weeks and months, because so much more information coming in, and it's actually more that we are trying to process the information, okay? That will take still some time till we're gonna attune, and then even we will not sleep that much anymore in future, in the golden time future. So not like tomorrow or in a few years, maybe a little bit later, but it's the same with the body. We will be so much more lighter when we now allow pretty fast this karmic density stuff, frustration, fear, anger, and even these false identities like I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I don't have self-confidence. That's all not our natural state, because I said at the beginning as well that the main message which came through with the channeling I had in the night, actually, and this morning, was that when we wake up, that we lost ourselves in the process of healing. Even I lost myself in relationship, I lost myself in jobs, I lost myself. That actually it's all about that you awake yourself this now moment, and I say, I'm back, I'm aware of myself, I'm back in my body, and I now work from the I am here and now with love, with relationship, and so on, so that not the outer absorbs you, but you are watching and you are actually above whatever is going on outside. Okay, so our loop was that we all of us get or being lost in certain outer parts, in the circumstance, in what other people think, in my mind, in whatever. Okay, so it's really, we went away from us when we were doing that. But when we can get back now to us, and I say, I'm aware, I'm Gabi Nara, I'm here and now, and I know I will now, tonight, or here and now, transmute my fear of how do I look, I don't know, that's just some stupid, how do I look in front of the camera, that it doesn't matter, because I'm here just a messenger, right? So I can now transmute it. So it's not that this fear or this program needs to absorb me, okay? So always get a step back to you. More we lean out, more you're gonna see difficult situations, or the difficulty to be actually even in situations with people and all, because we went away from our own truth. And our own truth is only, that's only me here. There's nothing else. And that's also what I always teach, show to my clients. When you all now close your eyes for a moment, there is nobody else, right? You only have the awareness in that now moment that it's just you there. So every time when you're gonna, maybe before you start even to work with your shadows, with all what this light will now, these solar flares and all will push out from your body, yes, all of it, even past lives. I can tell you, I've been working past days, solar plexus, I don't know, 20 past lives clearing out. So really, really, we're going deep this time. Before you start, you always just get back to you. So you don't fall into the feeling, for example, I don't know, torture from past life, but you are aware of you being here and now, and you are powerful to just transmute it. And you're going to ask me how to transmute it. Just embrace it with pure light. You can choose white light, golden light, Christ light, unity light, oneness, source, whatever you wish to say, okay? And you're going to see like, oh my God, it's not just that I'm transmuting it. You know what you're going to start to feel? You're going to start to feel you're empowering your own self. That's the most beautiful part of it. You're going to start to feel almost like, let's call them fragments of you. Okay, this fear, this past life, this memory, my father, my mother, my inner child. And suddenly, more you then transmute it, it starts to become again, it melts and become, it merges, become a part of you again. And then it's not anymore a fractured part outside, because when it's outside or next to you or above you, you then of course feel almost like that you don't have control, right? That something outside is still influencing you or can influence you. But if it's merged in you, there is no influence, because you're becoming one. That's the awakening. Meeting parts, transmuting, moving on. Meeting parts, transmuting, moving on. That's the awakening, okay? Right, anything else? Because I've been really, I think, yeah, quite some time explaining. So when those aches are coming now, or you're in the middle of it, truly starts to communicate with the body. It is showing the path where it still needs your attention. Because even if the light will push through your veins or through your muscles or through those parts which are aching, it's all about awareness. So awareness comes when you then understand, okay, my left knee is, I don't know, I'm having fear of stepping forward. Why do I have this? My father was the same. He couldn't decide, or he was fearful to make the wrong choice. Okay, maybe it's even in his family. And you don't even need to know all of these participants, okay, all of those players who played those roles, but you just really set then the intention, okay, I have now the whole map, so my knee wants to show me that there is this fear of moving forward. And so I can now help my physical body when the light comes through, instead that it's hurting for 3 days, for 1 week, for 1 month, that I'm helping by realizing and bringing it into my awareness. That's the program. I had the fear to move forward because, I don't know, I can't control what is in the future. And that's why I rather stay stagnant and not move on, and so on and so forth. So you can really start to, I'm actually feeling to say, to start to play with it. So it won't be anymore just hard work to heal yourself or the shadows and all of that, what's going on, but that you learn about yourself. And that's actually the beauty as well, by being a awoken person or awakened soul, which is moving forward in the process of ascension, that we learn about ourselves, we learn then about the body. When we learn about the body, we understand the rhythms of Mother Gaia, of our nature then as well, right? And slowly, slowly, we start to remember our true natural state, which we are then creators, shifting, changing with energy, because we will be masters as well of energy, and not then fear when light hits our body, when solar flares coming in, that we need to protect ourselves, but that we're going to be open and start to communicate as a gift. All right? So I hope this all helps. I think I covered pretty much, all. So, and for those who would like now as well to receive, I also will offer now a healing transmission, because this was as well my guidance coming in, sharing that many of you might have those different symptoms and aches and anxiety and maybe panic attacks and so on. And so if you wish now, I would then invite you just to place yourself in a comfortable position, okay? So that you just feel a bit more relaxed, maybe not so tight. Yes. And then I invite you to close your eyes. But of course, if you don't feel comfortable, you can leave them open, because through my voice, I'm transmitting the healing frequency. And just let me tune in as a multidimensional channel to see who all would like to participate and assist us with our body right now. Okay, firstly, yes, thank you. Firstly, coming in, we're gonna go from down upwards. So firstly, coming in, beloved Mother Gaia. Yes. And I'm gonna just breathe into this field now, into this whole group, whoever is listening, also those later with the replay, bringing in beautiful codes of beloved Mother Gaia, and just open your heart. And I'm streaming now, streaming her beautiful love frequency, because she firstly want to feel, yes, make you feel safe, okay, make you feel safe. 𝓖𝓪𝓫 𝓲𝓪𝓫. And just feel how this light language, her frequency of Gaia, It's just entering tarakotoro into your heart space, nayoto. It doesn't matter, you don't need to complicate it, you just allow it. Aritoro koyana, leya taraka, nakura tatakeshi narakeyata. Oikana, beloved children, nuru ata shakea. I know it isn't an easy process, sharaketerika, for your beautiful body, rakirata, much are not understanding, kururita, worrying, taya kiataka. Allow me that you fall back into my embrace, shikinataya torokotakana halaikana torukushanaraka, and will help you just to feel for a moment that remembrance. Your body will remember right now. Shikinatara kituru katayaka, iata, how everything can soften, Ayato shoakia, la koyonata, saika, narikoto shokuakia. Yes, and beloved, every cell is now receiving a beautiful, peaceful, loving vibration of softness. You're safe. You're safe in your body, Shakinatara Keata. You're safe within yourself, Aikushu. You're safe in this earth I gifted you. Your physical body is my body, Kianata, Sawakea, Ira Kanta E, Lawaketa, Atukushutunu, Nurataketkanakwatake. Yes, and while she's still holding you, I can feel already beautiful, beautiful golden light, like honey, golden light is coming from your top of your head all the way along your spine. Shakuyana, waya, leata, liltitunu, tututunu, kutatakena, kateshituakt erita, sanak aitukurata. It's the golden dragon, aikanaka, sawate. Yes, working with your spine, shikiata. So you're allowing more, iata, aquata, siwakana hate. You're allowing more again to be more unified with your physical body, shawanake. It's all about trust. Awake sanaliki, lururia ratakinakitushuru tukanaheata. Antia, yes, and dropping now, almost at the tail, we could say, from your spine. Yes, and coming in, the fire dragons from beneath. Yes, all the way up again, the whole spine. Yes, all the way up with the sacred fires moving up. Yes, gifting you this, yes, this power to, yes, this dissolve and almost like break through those layers of construction. You're basically even, yes, restricting yourself with it, and going into your solar plexus now. Yes, into your solar plexus. It doesn't matter if you understand, you just feel and allow. Yes, and just breathe if you feel a bit maybe nausea or any, yes, uncomfortable feeling. Just breathe with your breath. Exactly. And breathe, and we're breathing it through your feet down into the ground. It's instantly transmuted. Just allow. It will just be almost like a little bit like a centrifuge in your solar plexus now. Yeah, helping you to move and break this old, yes, belief system, structures and power. Hutkt arshitk iratanakwanate shikinaku halake orkushunakiata ahatanakia huyatanashakiata arataki. Yes, and now it's coming in. Yes, coming in sacred water, but I can see as well it's coming from a beautiful lunar dragon. Yes, cosmic lunar dragon, sacred water transmission. Yes, and again, it's almost like bringing a cooling frequency in. Yes, because they're saying we're gonna now stabilize. We're gonna stabilize between the old, they're saying, yes, the old world structure and Gaia's, yes, Gaia's new frequency, because it will help you, your body, to more attune to those new frequencies. Yes, we are now recalibrating. Yes, we could say the above and the below. Yes, the waters and the fires through the spine. Yes, because they're saying like that, it will help as well. Again, the electricity, yes, which is actually nothing else than higher consciousness from source, yeah, coming in from the solar storms, yeah, switching on more and more the light body of, yes, your body. Yes, 𝓖𝓪𝓫. Yeah, and they're saying just one more thing around your neck, back of your neck, where the alta major is, but it is as well the atlas. So this means it's the begin of the spine, we could say, where the skull is held. Okay. Yes, there's a small attunement, and that for coming in, yes, the Hathors. Hathors are the masters of frequency. So maybe if you feel something around your neck, yes, and they're saying some of you need longer attunement, so they're gonna stay for a few days in the night. They will work with your consent. So this means if you wish so, you're gonna just say yes to the Hathors now. Yes, and they're gonna stay and a little bit more attuned, because the storms will increase, and that for the attunement needs to be over a period of time, okay, before the body completely, yes, attunes to this new light frequencies. Yes. Yes, and now I can feel coming from very far. Yes, I mean very high. Yes, source blessing, and just open up, because it's now coming almost like a beautiful, almost like a cape, if you want so. Very, very high vibration. It's the diamond frequency, source diamond frequency. Yes, and it's almost like, yeah, like a gift of blessing, because as well to your soul and your awareness that you're always safe on your journey. Always safe. You knew exactly before you came here that you will be always divinely guided, divinely assisted, yes, and divinely gently expanded, yes. And it's going from down, up, and from up, down, yes, beautiful. Okay, and slowly, you're gonna start to feel your feet. Yes, you just have the awareness at your feet, and then you're bringing it up to your heart. Bring it up to your heart. Yes, and then we're gonna make 3 deep breaths in to your heart, which will be equally to into your body. Just deep inhale and exhale, and one more time. Exactly. And when you're going to open your eyes, you're going to be completely present here and now, back in that space and that surrounding where you're at, and just feel much lighter, or just feel what it does in your body, or what you feel that it's doing with or around your body. Yes. And they're saying, because I'm also channeling, yes, that it also stabilized stronger your roots with the dragons. Yes, so it's again assisting with being more stable in that change, okay? And that actually your true stability is within, yes, they're showing me within your spine, because the spine original is almost like this singing fork. So it's always actually natural vibrating. But because we went more into this density and all been more constructed and more rigid, it didn't anymore really vibrate. Okay, and that's as well then every movement, any new change, because we are the construct of the reality in the outer, was harder, okay, because we were not flexible anymore, okay. But then our, yes, our beautiful soul song will come online, and we will really vibrate again through time and space, who we truly are. Ooh. And we are fully back, so welcome. And I'm always happy to hear how you felt that, what's your experience, and please as well drink now some water, and as well in the next in the next 5 days, because even it's been a shorter process now here, the healing process, I'm with the quantum healing pretty much fast with the attunement. So with all of you, I actually worked now, and it will actually do something with you. And this something is that it will just help you a bit more to attune to this higher frequency which came now to the planet and still coming in, and that it's not so much resistance, so much fear, so much panic what's going on, but that we can slowly move with those new waves, and that our body has all the intelligence to transmute itself into its new vibrational state of the golden new human. So I'm truly thanking all of you. I'm as well thanking, of course, beloved Mother Gaia, the Hathors, all the beautiful Dragon Collective for their assistance to come in here for you, for all of us, and may it really assist you. A bit is a bit, or a lot is a lot. So as far it is, just let's be grateful for it, and wish you all the best. So trust and do anything and everything to assist now your body to be in trust, to be in surrender, to soften up, because that's the only thing we truly shall now concentrate on. And if anything arises, write it down, because then you have more an overview of understanding what you're purging, what is the release, and then you can gain those golden nuggets, which then become a part of your new self-empowerment and true self-mastery, okay? Because we are becoming more and more self-aware through the remembrance who we always been. Thank you so much. Love from my side, and be in your heart and trust, and the body will guide you through the process. Bye for now.